Hey there, this is Norman from WoCode, and today we're going to be discussing the FX button line hover widget. Now, this widget adds a line-based animation to buttons. This effect adds a classy element of motion and interest while remaining subtle. One thing you'll notice here in the demo is that these buttons aren't traditional in the sense that they don't use solid color backgrounds or borders. There are other options for more classic buttons like the button widget or the FX button hover widget if you'd like an animated button with a solid background or a border. So consider this widget when your site design calls for something unique or elegant. Let's go ahead and jump into the builder here and take a look at how this is set up. Here in the builder here, I have the bakery shop template, which has a classy, elegant style to it, and it should be a nice fit for this type of button. I'm going to scroll down here and we're going to replace this order online button with the button line hover widget. So we'll just open up our widgets panel here, grab that button and drag and drop it underneath the original button. First thing we're going to do, change that button label to order online. And then the second thing we're going to do is jump into the design tab, change that font so that it matches the original button. And there we go. And now that we have our button loosely styled based off the original button, we're going to delete that original button and run through the options within the button line hover widget, starting with the unique ID. If you have multiple instances of the button line hover widget on the same page, you're going to want to be sure to use the unique ID option. Just below that is the button style. This is where you'll change the hover animation for the button. And instead of going through every single one of these, because there are 15 of them, we can jump into the demo here, scroll down, and we'll have a full list of interactable buttons here that we can see how they're going to look if we add them to our site. Jumping back into the builder, below that we have the button label. We set the button label earlier, so we know what that does. And then lastly, we have the content section, which allows us to link up the button just like you would a normal button. So let's go ahead, close this, jump into the design tab, and let's take a look at the design tab options. Starting from the top, we have the button alignment. This does what you think it should. It aligns the button left, right, or center. We'll set that back to center for this example. You can also grab the blue handle on the container itself and resize that button. So as you can see here, I grabbed that blue handle on the bottom right of the container and I can resize that button. Opening this widget back up here, we'll move on down to the next option. Below the button alignment, we have our vertical padding and horizontal padding. These settings will add padding to the top and bottom or left and right, but you probably won't need to adjust these very often like you would do on a regular button with a border or a solid background. And just below that, we have the line color. This will change the color of the animated line on the widget. So if we change this to a more noticeable pink, and then we hover, we see we now have that pink bar there underneath the button coming in and out. The remaining design options are pretty self-explanatory and allow you to set the font, text colors, and things like that. But that's going to do it for the button line hover widget. It's a very easy widget to set up, but it does allow you for some very nice, elegant hover effects on your buttons for your site. But until next time, my name is Norman Durkee, and you've been rocking with the best website builder platform on the planet, WoCode.com. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to support. We're always here to help.